Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about guidelines on PPC bid optimization. My name is Dr. Vasamin and I am CEO of Upscale Valley, a full service Amazon agency. Let's discuss the topic now. So I'm going to cover all the different aspects in which we need to optimize the PPC bids in Amazon advertising console. Let's discuss the following 4 or 5 common scenarios. The first scenario, you have high ACOS, then your target ACOS, what you're supposed to do. Second one, your ACOS is less than your target ACOS, then what you're supposed to do. And the third is you're getting clicks but no sale. The fourth is you are getting impressions but no clicks. How to cater these scenarios. I'm going to go really deep into discussing the points, what to do when you're doing ranking, what to do when you are not doing with the intention of ranking, how to modify the bids of campaigns with placement modifier, negative targeting part, async targeting part. I'm going to cover a lot of these things in details. The time duration of data which is required for optimization should be last 30 days, excluding the last 2 days. For example, if today it's 3rd of September, then we should take the data from 1st of September. I'm excluding last 2 days, like 1st of August to 1st of September, or if we are going to count August as a month of 31, then 2nd of August to 1st of September, we are supposed to exclude the last 2 days. Because there is a lot of data variability in last 2 days. Another important point is you guys need to know about the sale attribution element in Amazon PPC. For sponsored products, the sale attribution window is 7 days. For sponsored brand or for vendor central account, the sale attribution window is around 14 days. What does it mean? It means that if what usually happens is, let's say I being the customer of Amazon, I clicked on an advertising link on a sponsored product ad, and then once I click the ad, instead of purchasing or doing checkout with the product, I added the product to the cart, and then I checked out it maybe after 6 days, 5 days, or 10 days. So if I've the time duration between when I clicked the ad and when I bought the order, or when I did the checkout, if the time duration between these two events is less than 7 days, then Amazon is going to link this purchase to that click which happened in less than 7 days time period. And the date on which the sale happened, like let's say it happened on 5th of September, but the click was on 1st of September, so Amazon will show it on the will attribute it to the click in the data in the advertising console which appeared on the 1st of September. And if I clicked on the ad on 1st of September and purchased the order, like I had it in my add to cart basket, and then I purchased it on 10th of September, then it won't attribute it in case of sponsored product, but it will attribute it in case of sponsored brand sales. So we need to get an idea about this part if you are new into the world of Amazon advertising. Because let's say you are checking a data for the month of September on 1st of October, and then you check that data on maybe 8th or 10th of October, you will see some difference in the data. And usually the difference is increment in the number of orders, decrease in the ACOS, because Amazon attribute all those sales which happened in the last 7 days to the in the last 7 days. By last 7 days, I mean in the first week of October to that time period of September, because it's going to attribute this sale to the date when the click happened or when the click occurred. So that is the reason the time duration for data optimization should be 30 days, excluding the last 2 days. But having said this, you should check out your high ACOS campaigns. You can simply put out a filter of high ACOS over a time period of every 2 to 3 days and see if a campaign is going crazy, it's spending crazy, then you need to check that campaign. You need to hold or limit the spend of that campaign. It should not happen that you are checking that campaign as well after 30 days. That's going to ruin your budget, your spend, and everything. But excluding this part, if all campaigns are working in a proper manner under your target spend, then you should optimize those campaigns at earliest 14 days and ideally 30 days. So if you see the screen here, this is the date range. Like today is 31st, Then what I'm doing is I'm selecting the data from 28th of July to 28th of August and applying this data to, and you can see the date today is 31st of August. Just to give you a highlight, what does it mean? Now let's discuss all these four scenarios and let's see what is the thought process behind optimizing these different scenarios and how we are supposed to do it. Let's discuss the first one, high ACOS. When you see a particular campaign has high ACOS, then we break it down in the following steps. But before that, just to give you a highlight, I'm not going to talk about the PPC scaling. I have video for it available on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to talk about what should be the campaign structure and all that part. I'm only talking about the bid optimization part. So when we kind of see the higher cost campaigns, there are two types for this. Campaigns which are having high ACOS and high conversion, and then campaigns which have high ACOS and low conversion. So let's discuss first the high ACOS, high conversion. Usually the exact match campaign, I'm excluding the broad match, the phrase match, the SN targeting. If those campaigns have high ACOS, then we are simply supposed to optimize the bid. How we are supposed to do it, I'm going to talk about it later on. But in the case of exact match, that's a special scenario. For a high ACOS campaign, there can be two things. For the exact match campaign, what we do is we intend to rank those keywords. If a campaign a keyword is relevant and that keyword is available in our content and that has high ACOS, then we intend to rank those keywords. So what we do is the campaign has high ACOS, but it's bringing a good volume of orders. Its conversion is pretty good. Then before optimizing, we are supposed to check the organic ranks in the keyword tracker, maybe Helium 10 keyword tracker or whatever. Then in that case, we need to see if the organic ranks are improving. If those are improving, then ranking, and at the result of ranking, once you start getting organic orders, that kind of decrease your TACOS, or in other ways, that's already a way to optimize your advertising cost. Because let's say in the same spend $100, you were first getting 100 PPC orders, but then once you get ranked, then you are getting 100 PPC orders and 80 organic orders. Now in the same spend $100, you are getting 180 total orders. So the orders or the revenue against that particular spend has increased. So in my opinion, the best way to optimize the advertising cost is by ranking your product, because you start getting the organic chunk of order, and that makes a lot of sense in getting a decent number of orders, and then again keeping the advertising cost in check as well. But if the ranks are not improving, it means you are not getting ranked on this particular keyword, then you are supposed to optimize the bids. If the keyword is relevant, but your ranks are not improving, then in addition to all the listing issues or the product or pricing, all that issues, there can be 4 to 5 reasons in your advertising console which may be stopping or hindering your ranks to get improved. So the first thing is campaign going out of budget. Like now here I'm talking about the keyword is relevant and the conversion is good, but still you are not getting ranked and you want your product to get ranked. So there are almost 4 to 5 reasons in the advertising console why your product is not getting ranked. First thing is your campaigns are constantly going out of budget. Your campaigns run for maybe 12 hours or 18 hours per day, and your competitors campaigns run 24 hours per day. They are bringing more order, so it makes more sense to rank them. The second thing is conversion metric. So when I say this, we believe or we all know that the conversion at top of search placement is much higher as compared to the rest of search placement. So if you are not giving enough bid your to your keyword to get ranked or to get show up on the top of search placement, then the conversion would be lower, and that would hinder your keyword to get ranked on top. Then the third thing is your campaign structure. If you have let's say around $50 budget for a campaign and you have 10, 15 or maybe 20 keywords per campaign, then that budget is going to be distributed among all those keywords, and one keyword won't get enough budget to consume all that, to get enough impression, to get enough to show up for enough time period, and then to get enough revenue to get ranked on top. So this is how it works. The fourth issue can be your placement modifier. If you check out the campaign placement data, you would see that majority of your impressions and clicks are on the product pages or on the desktop search. But for the ranking, we need to get clicks and conversion on top of such placement. So by putting a placement modifier and decreasing your bid for the desktop search, it may help you to get ranked on top. And the fifth and the final reason is the keyword selection. If you have only, let's say, less than 50 or 100 reviews, and you're competing for a keyword which is not mid-tail, which is kind of a main keyword, higher search volume, and all of the players ranked on that keyword has reviews more than 2-3,000, then it would take you a good time period, a longer time period to get ranked on that keyword, because you have not enough social proof for that. So it would be easier for you to rank for a mid-tail keyword as compared to the main keyword. So that can be the fifth reason as well. So if everything is working fine and you want your product to get ranked, then these 5 issues can be on the PPC end, in addition to all that design and your pricing and coupon and market depth, etc., all such kind of issues. Now, the third scenario in ranking is your product is getting ranked, all good. Your product is not getting ranked. These were the 5 reasons. Your product has the capability to get ranked, but you don't want to do it. You don't want to have high ACOS or spend extra budget. Then you can definitely optimize the bid. How we can do, I'm going to share this later on. Another scenario is you are getting high ACOS, but your conversion is pathetic. Now, at that scenario, we need to check out if we are supposed to optimize the bid or if we should even close down the keyword. What is the parameter on which we take the decision that the keyword is irrelevant? Your standard conversion. Now, let's say you are running campaign and you have multiple keywords, and you check out or get an idea that on average, for exact match relevant keyword, I get clicks on order on every 10 clicks, so my conversion is 10%. Or maybe I get order on every 5 clicks, so my conversion is 20%. So it varies from 5% to around 40%. The PPC conversion varies from product to product, and this is a range which I have observed, which is pretty common in some categories. So you need to figure out and identify your brand's conversion or keywords conversion, and then you need to see this keyword which has high ACOS. Is this keyword qualifying on this on that particular conversion metric? For example, you are getting one order on 5 clicks usually on remaining keywords or other keywords, but for this keyword you have not got any order even on 20 clicks. So it means your conversion for this keyword is 5%, but usually for majority of the relevant keywords your conversion is 20%. So it means this keyword is not relevant, and you need to either close it down if this is altogether not relevant, or in the other scenario, if usually your conversion is 20%, but in this particular keyword your conversion is around 10%, which is still good. You can get order, but you can get order, but you won't be able to get rank. So in this case, instead of closing the keyword, you are going to optimize the bid. You won't go for the intention of ranking. So these are the 2 different scenarios here. If you are confused if a keyword is relevant for your product or not, one of the simple way is search that keyword on Amazon and check out if any of your similar design or product is ranked in top 4 or top 8 organic placements. If it is, then this keyword has the relevancy, or your product does convert on this particular keyword. If any of the similar design is not ranked on this keyword, then that's an indicator that this keyword is not relevant and you need to turn it off. So this was all for the high ACOS. You can see the 3 different scenarios of if the keywords are relevant, and then 2 different scenarios if the keywords are not relevant. And then after that, let's discuss the second scenario, like the ACOS is less than your target ACOS. In this case, there are 2 different options. Let's say your target ACOS is 20%. And when we say your ACOS is less than target ACOS, then it means 27%. You can say 10% plus minus, like in case of high ACOS, you are saying the ACOS is higher because it's 33%, while your target ACOS is around 30%. So if the scenario is 90, within the 90% plus minus scenario, then I won't suggest you to do any optimization because of the sale attribution concept which I have explained to you guys. And then again, for this one, I also don't suggest to do any optimization, leave it as it is. But if the scenario is that your ACOS is, let's say, 18% or 22%, then in that case, what I suggest is to increase your bid by 5%. And what you're supposed to simply do is you need to multiply by your bid. Let's say this is your bid $1, then you need to multiply it by 1.05, and you're going to get the bid which you want to increase. Usually, I don't follow all this formulation concept, and what I do is I simply increase the bid by 10, 20, 30 cents, and this is how it usually works. For the third scenario, like when you're getting clicks but no order, the same methodology will work, which I explained to you in case of that kind of campaign where there is a high ACOS but low CVR or low conversion. So in that case, and when we say CVR, it's orders divided by clicks. So in this case, let's say you have checked out that even your average or poor keyword that gets one order on 10 clicks, or that gets one order on maybe after every 6 clicks or 5 clicks or 16 clicks. That totally depends upon your product scenario. So whatever is the data you observe from the other mass of keywords, then you need to apply that data here. Let's say your threshold is around 10 clicks. If you have got 10 clicks and still no order, you can push it to maybe 12, 13, 14 clicks. But once a keyword has 14 clicks and no order, you are supposed to turn it off. And if you see that this keyword is relevant, and when you search it on Amazon, then you see relevant competitors showing up in the top 4 or top 8 sports, then you can save this keyword for later on. And if you do not see any of the relevant competitor relevant design ranked on this keyword, then you can dump this keyword. So in case of low impression, the scenario is pretty simple. Usually the CTR, or the click-through rate, which is click divided by impression, it is 1% in those kind of products which have almost similar design all over the page, like lemon squeezer, and it is around 0.3 to 0.5% in those products which have multiple design variations. For example, apparels like jeans or any such kind of stuff. So you need to see if you are getting any click on, let's say there are 2 3 scenarios. Your impressions are 200 300, and what my barrier or what my criteria is, that is 500 impressions. If my impressions are less than 500, then I'm going to increase the bid. If my impressions are, you can say, more than 500 or 7 800, and I still have not got any click, then I would revisit if the keyword is relevant, if it is properly indexed, if it is getting if the impressions are being shown on top of search or not. If not, then I'll again increase the bid a little. But still, if it's not converting, then maybe the keyword is not relevant for me. So it was simple for those campaigns which have ACOS less than your target ACOS. You are simply supposed to increase 10, 20 cents or maybe 5% of your total bid. In case of clicks but no orders, it was simple. In case of low impressions, or it was also pretty simple. But now let's see how we are supposed to optimize the high ACOS campaign bids. So this is usually the formula which is running into the market. I'm not sure who invented it and all that part. But still, this is a formula here, like 1 minus ACOS. In ACOS here, we put it in the, like let's say for 30% ACOS, we are going to say 0.3. For 45% ACOS, we are going to say 0.45, and so on. So divided by 2, multiply by CPC, and this gives you a rough idea how you can optimize your bid. But in our case, like all of my team, how we do the optimization, if it is a small account and we are not doing it through any PPC management tool, then the usual mantra is around 5 to 10%. Like what we usually do is we optimize the bid by 5% if it is a bigger number, or 10%. So this is how it usually works. For example, for $1 bid, if the ACOS is super high, I'm going to decrease it to 90 cents, and then I'm going to check it later on next day or maybe 2 days later, and then I'm going to decrease it to 80 cents, then maybe to 72 cents, then maybe to 65 cents. So this is how it goes usually, 10%. Like for 80 cents, the 10% was 8 cents. For $1, the 10% was 10 cents. So this is how I usually go. And we can increase the frequency of changes like every day, but we do not do abrupt changes in the CPC, because this is how Amazon works. It literally throttles your impression. Let's say you have decreased the bid from $1 to straight 50 cents. Amazon is going to throttle the impression for that particular keyword. So this is how we usually optimize this formula, which you can apply if you are a data oriented guy, or if you are new into optimizing the CPC or the Amazon PPC part, or the other way is simply 10% of your bid. So of your not bid, your CPC. And this is what I'm going to discuss later on as well. So there are 2-3 rules in the Amazon PPC world which you guys need to keep in mind. The first rule was do not drastically change your CPC or your bid. It throttles the impression. Like what I've this is what everyone experience, and once they experience, they start utilizing this part. The second rule is do not take bid as your reference point. Take your CPC as your reference point. So if you guys can see the screen here, the bid here is 60 cents, but the CPC is 0.67 cents. I have a placement modifier at the back end, or there can be some other scenarios as well. For example, the bid here can be $3, the CPC here can be $1.2. So the bid is something which you offer to Amazon, that up to this amount I am willing to pay for one click. But CPC is what Amazon actually charges you for a click. So for example, your ACOS is 100%, your CPC is $1.3, your bid is $3. And you've started optimizing the bid now from with the 10% rule, like from 3 to $2.7, then from there to $2.5, then from there to 2.2. This is how you're working. But then again, your ACOS was 100% on the CPC 1.3. So if you are starting from $3, it's going to take you 2 weeks to show and or to observe an impact in your ACOS, like your ACOS started decreasing. So that's going to be a foolish act here. So what you need to do is you need to start by optimizing your CPC. For example, your bid is $3 and your CPC here is $1.3. So you are going to optimize the bid from $3 to 1.1 or 1.2, like 10% of $1.3. So this is what you need to keep in mind. And this is one common mistake what newbies do in optimizing their PPC part. Now let's discuss how we can optimize the bid in a campaign which has placement modifier. So this is the placement data for a particular campaign, and we usually apply it only in the exact match. It is also available in the asset targeting, but we do not apply it there. It is not available in the video ad targeting. So this is how it usually works. For the top of search placement, it has 100%. What does it mean is, for example, if my bid was 60 cents, I am allowing Amazon that for the top of search placement, like first page, top spots, I am willing to pay up to $1.2, double of 0.6 or 60 cents. Double of that amount I'm willing to pay only for this particular placement, not for product pages, not for the rest of search. So outside it's 60 cents, but inside with around 100% bid adjustment, your CPC is going to be $1.2. How you are going to optimize the bid? Are you supposed to take into consideration the 60 cents or $1.2? What is going to be the final bid? How we are supposed to do that? There are dozens of questions which you need to cater. So for this, we have a sheet here. This sheet was crafted by one of my student in the first coaching session which we did for Amazon private label, and this is what we are using right now. It makes things pretty simple. So I'm going to share the link of this sheet in the description of the video as well, so you guys can have access of this and use it on your ease. So this is the placement bid calculator with fixed and down only bidding. In this sheet, it's for up and down only. So you can use it to change the percentage modifier. You can see these white cells, we can do the changes here. For the rest of search, like you saw in the screen just a couple of seconds back, for the rest of search, Amazon has not properly given access to the placement modifier for the rest of search. Amazon has announced it will do, but still we could not see on most of the accounts. So for the rest of search, it's standard as 0, but for the product pages and top of search, we can do the placement. So let's say here, like the scenario which I was discussing, it's around 60 cents and the placement top of search is 100%. So it's showing the maximum bid of $1.2. Now you want to decrease the bid because your ACOS is high and you want to decrease it to 1.08. So there can be two different ways of doing it. For example, you do it from 0.6 to 0.55, and with the top of search placement constant, you can see this is how the bid is going to be $1.1. Or let's say you keep it as it is, 0.6, and for here you put it like 90%, then you can see what is going to be the bid. So you can see the final bid after putting up the placement, and before executing the changes, you can play the role in this sheet and check out what's going to be your final bid. For this section below, let's say I want to play a bit different here. Like I discussed in the above example, my bid here is 0.6 60 cents, and for product pages I want to keep it same 60 cents. For rest of search we cannot change it, so then again it goes without saying it's going to be same. But here when we did optimization from $1.2, we say that we want the final bid at top of search around you can say $1.1. So this is what should be the top of search placement, and if I put it here around 83%, you can say it's showing me the target bid, the desired bid. So you can use this simple formulation to take the decision of what should be your top of search placement, what should be your bid to optimize that part. Now here comes another question. Should you optimize the bid or should you optimize the placement? How should it work? It can go either way. You can optimize the bid to achieve the target maximum bid, which is around $1.1, or you can optimize the top of search placement as well. What to do? So for that decision, what we do is we take the ACOS into consideration. So if the ACOS at the rest of search is high, let's say this ACOS was around 80% and the ACOS here is 50%. So what I'll do is I'll decrease the bid. I'll decrease the bid from 60 cents to you can say 50 or 40 cents. And I still want $1.1 to my top of search placement. So if I come up here, because my rest of search ACOS is higher, like you guys can see here, the rest of search. Now I'm playing the role here. You are supposed to assume the numbers here. It's not showing as it is. So first scenario is my ACOS is higher at the rest of search and lower at top of search. Now what I want to do is I want the rest of search bid to be decreased by I want the top of search bid to be maintained. So for that, what I'm supposed to do is, let's say I decrease the rest of search bid by I want to say that instead of 60 cents, I am only willing to pay here 40 cents. Or you can still do it here as well. But I want my target bid to be same. So this section is giving you the answer for that part. My rest of search ACOS was high, so I want, instead of 60 cents, I want to spend 40 cents here. But then again, I want that my top of search placement or my top of search bid should be same, that is 1.1. So in that case, I would decrease the bid to 40 cents and I would increase the top of search placement to 175%. So this is the scenario. The second scenario, in this case, the answer is you would decrease the bid and maintain the top of search placement. Now in the other scenario, your let's take this scenario as it is. Your ACOS is ideal or achieving your target for the rest of search, and it is higher for the top of search placement. In that case, you're not supposed to change the bid. You will only optimize the placement percentage. So in that case, what we are going to do is we are not going to play with the bid here. we are going to let's say the bid is same 60 cents, but instead of 100% top of search placement, we are going to decrease this to 83%. Like my target first was $1.2, it was 100% top of search placement, but I can see the ACOS at rest of search is fine, but the ACOS at top of search is higher. Now I want the top of search ACOS to get lower down by 1.1, so I'm going to decrease the top of search placement to 83%. And when the ACOS is lower overall than your target ACOS, then it doesn't matter, either you increase the bid or the placement, either way it's fine. Now let's discuss about how we can do the negative targeting part for the broad match or phrase match campaign or auto campaigns to optimize their ACOS. Bid optimization is not the only solution. Like for campaigns without placement or without like the exact match campaigns without placement modification, the simpler way is to optimize the bid. For exact match campaigns with placement modifier, you can either do the bid optimization or placement optimization or both to achieve or to optimize the campaign overall. For the campaigns which are auto, phrase, broad, exactly same for the sponsored brand, or phrase or broad. For these kind of campaigns, what you're supposed to do is bid optimization is not the only way to optimize the campaign. You can do the negative targeting part. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to download the search term report here, or you can, if the campaign number is lower, you can check out those campaign search terms manually, and then you need to filter out all those search terms which are irrelevant. You are supposed to negative exact or negative phrase those search terms to optimize the campaign. Now what's happening is your spend is being distributed to 15 search terms. You see that your ACOS is high, but 5 search terms out of those 50 are useless. Then you negative exact those 5 search terms to get the desired result. This is one of the broad match campaign, and I've come here to the search term data. For this, I usually prefer is to select the maximum date range, which is around 65 days available, like you guys can see here. And then after that, I sort it on the basis of orders and try to filter out all the useless search terms here. Now, this is kind of, I am hiding this data right now, but just to give you guys an example. For example, we are talking about lemon squeezer here, and we are offering 3 colors, black, white, and blue. And you see there are a couple of keywords, or you can say a dozens of keywords which are showing up like yellow lemon squeezer, yellow wooden lemon squeezer, yellow plastic lemon squeezer. In all those keywords which are not performing, you see a common modifier is the yellow keyword. And the yellow is not relevant to our design because we are not offering first parameter, second parameter, we are not getting conversion of all those keywords which have that yellow modifier. So what I'm supposed to do here is I will negative phrase that yellow word exactly to exclude that yellow word from any of the future upcoming search results or search terms. In other scenario, let's say we are getting click on the wooden lemon squeezer while our lemon squeezer is plastic one, so we will negative phrase the wood keyword. And in other scenario, there can be some keywords which do not have these kind of phrases or modifiers, and you are supposed to negative exact those keywords as it is. For example, mattress protector, this is a keyword which you are not getting conversion on your product bed sheets, so you'll simply negative exact this one. So this is how basically it usually works. I have a detailed video on how to do negative targeting and what is the logic behind that. So what I usually do is for all such kind of potential modifiers which can waste the ad spend, what I usually do is I do the reverse assessing, then check out the keywords from brand analytics and make a set of all these negative keywords. And before I launch any campaign which is auto, phrase, broad, etc., then I from the beginning of campaign or for at the time of launching that campaign, I put all these keywords in the in the negative targeting section of that campaign. The link of the video would be showing up here right now. where you can see my video, which is already available on YouTube, how to do negative targeting. And it is written here about the auto campaign, but it do cover all the broad phrase and auto campaigns part here. So you can check that out to optimize your PPC. For these kind of campaigns, bid optimization is not the only way. You can optimize the campaigns by doing negative targeting in a smart way on a regular basis as well. So the last thing is what to do when a campaign is performing very good, like for last 2-3 months, and then suddenly it starts performing poor. In that case, there is usually some external scenario like slump in the market, product market, or maybe product is going out of season. Maybe any of the competitor has decreased the price drastically. They have put up the 7-day deals, the lightning deal, a big discount coupon, any such kind of issue which is for the time being, and it is going to fix later on as well. So for that kind of a scenario where the history has been good but the campaign suddenly starts performing poor, instead of closing the keyword, instead of turning off the campaign, what I suggest is shift or move this campaign to a new portfolio which you can name as poor performing campaigns. And in that portfolio you limit the budget, like maybe $2, $1, $5, whatever is your scenario per day, and you keep on revisiting that campaign after every 2-3 weeks. Once you see that those external issues are fixed and that campaign has again started performing, then you can move that campaign from that low performing portfolio to your mainstream portfolio as well. So this is what we usually do when we take up account for audit and we want to bring up the quick results. What we usually do is all the poor performing campaigns, so instead of waiting for the optimization impact to take place like in 2 to 3 months, what we usually do is we all the poor performing campaigns, we put those campaigns into the low ACOS portfolio and limit their budget, and all that budget which was getting wasted for all this poor performing campaign, we relocate that budget to the good performing campaigns. So I'm limiting the budget from the poor performing campaign and relocating the budget, the same budget, like let's say the budget per day was $100. So it was $50 for poor campaign, $50 for good performing campaign. So I'll put all those poor performing campaign into the separate portfolio and limit their budget to $10, and $90 I'll spend on the high performing campaigns. This simple hack itself increases the revenue and improves the ACOS of the account. So this is what you can do in this particular scenario. You need to observe the trends instead of taking decision on a particular data point. So let's say you are observing the trend of for every 14 days and you are observing that the ACOS was 60% at that time, but now it's gradually improving, maybe 55, 50, 45, 40. So it's going like that. Even though 40% is still higher than your target ACOS, but if the trend is moving in the right direction, then what I would suggest is to wait. And because all usually such kind of campaigns get optimized, they bring great revenue, sales, and they take time around 3 to 4 months to get optimized. But once they get optimized, they perform pretty good. So observe the trend rather than taking decision on a particular time period. And another advice is do not put top of search placement modifier for asset targeting. When you put the top of search placement modifier, your product gets ranked or compete for the ad for those keywords on which your target ASINs are ranked. So what it makes it makes kind of it complex, because you are already targeting those keywords in your exact match targeting, and then you are again targeting those keywords through top of search placement of ASIN targeting. So it kind of jeopardizes the scenario. So avoid that thing. This is all for the bid optimization stuff. You can say it's kind of a bid optimization masterclass. So if you follow all these instructions, I believe you can do pretty well when it comes to the bid optimization part. Hope you like the video. Do subscribe the channel and share the video and click the like button, and I'll see you soon with the more value nuggets. Till then, goodbye.